Hey guys, welcome back to the Coffin Nail. My name's Lightbreaker, and today I'm talking with Nahuel from Mental Cruelty. Mate, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's a pleasure. So you guys, I don't think it's blowing you up too much to say that you're honestly the most exciting metal band, or the extreme metal band, I would say, in Germany at the moment. And in May, you released your third album, A Hill to Die Upon, so congratulations on that, man. It's a stormer.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So I want to talk about that album a bit. Now, the band's first two albums were sort of classic slam. And in this, the sound has evolved. It's a lot more progressive. I've heard it described as Blackened Deathcore, which I really like. Can you tell me about the new sound and how that came about?
Actually, I just joined the band like last year, so I didn't I didn't wrote other songs from the previous album. But when I joined Mental Cruelty, we didn't really know where we want to go with the album. And me personally, I don't really listen to a lot of deathcore. I'm more into black metal and death metal, more like of the old school stuff, you know. And but Marvin was pretty much into this modern deathcore bands like Lorna Shore and Shadow of Intent, stuff like that. And we just it was like a pretty natural process when we wrote the album, because I put all my black metal influences in there, like the music I love, and Marvin put like his deathcore vibes in it, and I think it's a pretty good mixture of everything, you know.
And is that a sound that you want to continue with? I know it's weird to think about the next album, you've just put out one, but
and we actually started writing a new album like a few months ago.
Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yes, but we maybe gonna back off a little bit with the chorus stuff, because I mean, I love every song on The Hill to Die Upon, but now when I'm listening to it now, I feel like sometimes the breakdowns kind of take away a little bit from the music, you know, because we put a lot of effort into the song structures and melodies and stuff like that, the chord progressions, and sometimes it almost felt like we have to have a breakdown in this song, or now we have to do a breakdown, and we don't want to have that on the next album, you know. We want an even more natural process, if you want to call it like that.
I understand. And has it been easy to write that way? Like, does it feel forced or anything?
Like, I don't know. Like, when I look back then, it was pretty hard. But now I would say it was pretty easy, because the first song we wrote for the album was Death Worship. I think it's track 5 or 6 on the album, I'm not sure. And you can clearly hear it. I mean, we have like the black metal influences in it, but it's more on the slammy side, more on the chorus side, breakdowns and slams. And after that song, Marvin and me, we were like, it was so, we wrote that song in like 3 days, and we were like, if we continue like that, we're gonna be done in like 3 days. Yeah, but after that song, we didn't really know which direction we want to go. We were okay with that song, but we thought like the black metal stuff on that song was super cool, and we wanted to do more stuff like that. And the song we after that was, I think, Ultima Hippocrates. And I went to Marvin for 2 weeks, and we were like, we're gonna write songs for 2 weeks straight, and then we'll be done in 2 weeks. And it was not like that. And the only thing we wrote in that 2 weeks was like Afgang, the intro of the album. And on the last day, we wrote the beginning of Ultima Hippocrates, and we were at the point where we were like, can we do this? Like, are we gonna get away with this? Are people gonna like this, or gonna be people like, that's not good, that's not deathcore, and it has to be like this or that? But at that point, we were like, fuck it, let's do what we want, what sounds good to us, what we want to hear. Like, that was like the best decision we made for the album, actually.
Yeah. Well, it clearly paid off.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And you can hear it, I think, with Death Worship, that it's got that direction, but it's not as fulfilled as like a Baden or a Hill to Die Upon or something. But with those
Exactly.
orchestral pieces and the choirs, how do you
Yeah.
integrate those? Where did you record them? How do they happen?
They're actually like all MIDIs, like
Really?
programmed on the computer. But yeah, at the beginning, we didn't really know how much orchestral stuff we want to put into the music. But Marvin is such a beast. Like, he's such a good songwriter. And uh, at the end, it was like I wrote most of the riffs and the guitar stuff, and Marvin wrote most of the orchestral stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was like in the beginning we had just choirs and strings, and then when we finished the demo of the song, Marvin pretty much just sit down and like changed everything. Like, here, choirs, strings, timpanis, and everything, you know.
Timpanis, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's amazing. One more question about the new album. It
Yeah.
has the man. I hope I can pronounce this letter right. The E, is it?
Yeah.
The line through it. And for those who aren't familiar with the album, it's in the word upon, but the O is replaced with the U. Why?
To be honest, because it looks cool.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my guess with it was because I'm aware that you guys recorded or sorry, wrote partially in Norway. And the
Yeah.
reason I noticed this was, sorry to interrupt, was I had to Google Fossenbratte because I was like, I guess my German's not good enough to know that word. And then it turns out it's Norwegian. So what's
Yeah,
the
it's
story there?
actually we went to Norway, like you said, for it was a week last year in August, and we wrote a pretty decent amount of the album over there,
Mhm.
and we rented like a little cabin in the woods, like it was half an hour away from the next city. There was nobody
Wow.
over there. It was really cool and super quiet and everything. And like 5 minutes away from the cabin, there was this big waterfall, and that waterfall was called Fossebraten. And
Right.
we were at that waterfall like every day because it was such a beautiful thing to be there and just
Mm.
listen to the nature and enjoy it, you know. And when we went back to Germany, we wrote that little section, that
Mhm.
interlude in Norway, and we were like, how do we want to call it? And then we're like, hey, we need to call it Fossenbraten because it was like the most important thing for us in Norway, you know?
Amazing. Well, yeah, that's one way to tap into the black metal influence. Is just go to Norway, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
So the sounds of the birds and the like the trees and everything in that song, is that from directly recorded from there?
Nah, that would be
Ah,
fucking cool, but
that
nah,
would be cool.
it was actually like, I don't know how, from a sample library online where you can buy like samples, but yeah, it's pretty accurate. It
Yeah.
kind of sounds like this over there.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I was in the park walking my dog,
Hmm.
expecting to hear more deathcore. I'm like, that's a loud fucking bird. But now you mentioned at the start that you only joined the band at the start of last year, and that's something I wanted to ask you about. What's been your experience joining the band? How has the band changed in your eyes?
It was a great experience because there were a lot of major changes when I joined the band. Uh, One of the guitarists left, and their drummer,
Hmm.
Kevin, back then, and it was just like Luca, Marvin, and Victor. And a good friend of mine, Danny, who's our drummer now, joined Mental Cruelty. And at the beginning, I wasn't really in the band. Marvin just asked me if I could help him write the album because it was my birthday party last year in February. And I invited all the guys and was like, hey, man, you guys can come over, drink some beers. And I showed Marvin and Lucas some stuff I was working on. They were like, oh, that's cool. And Marvin asked me if I could help him a little bit with the songwriting. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then he asked me, oh, what do you want to have for it? And I was like, I don't want anything. Like, the only thing that would be cool would be like to play a concert with you guys, because I really want to play live again.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, just join us." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, ask for a bit, get a lot. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But in your own time as well, I know you played in another band, Methadone,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and you're also an audio engineer. Is that right?
Yeah, like not like a professional audio engineer. I'm actually at a audio school here in Germany, and I was doing like audio engineering stuff for the last 5 to 6 years, not more, 7 years, 7 years right now.
Wow.
And it's just like a big hobby of mine. You know, I really enjoy writing music and produce music and mix and master music. And yeah, it's just it's all I do every day. You know, I just write music and mix music on the PC, and yeah, that's like my main hobby.
That's great. So what are you working on when it's not Blackened Deathcore?
Well, actually, most of the time I'm working on black metal stuff, but it depends. Sometimes I'm over here in my home studio and I just write like indie music or country riffs, whatever comes to my mind. You know, I'm not really how do I say it? I'm not sticking to just one genre. You know.
Yeah.
Because I love a lot of music. Like when I started listening to music, I was probably like 2 or 3 years old. My mom showed me Michael Jackson, and I really loved Michael Jackson. And it was always good music in our house. My mom listened to stuff like Bob Marley, Rory Gallagher, stuff like that. And when I was like 7 years old or 6 years old, I discovered stuff like Metallica, System of a Down, Slipknot, and that really got me into metal. And after a time when I was like 15, 16, I started listening to death metal, stuff like Morbid Angel, Gojira, and yeah, but like when I was 18, it was like a moment where I appreciated a whole lot of other genres. You know, I love country, for example, Marshall Tucker Band and stuff like that. I love it.
That's so cool.
And, yeah, that's why I don't really stick to one genre, because it's stupid. You don't like learn anything from that if you just stick to one kind of music, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I play music as well, and before the apocalypse, I used to play in like Irish pubs and stuff like this. And when you've been playing music so long, sometimes the most fun stuff to play is country, because it's just, you can sit back on the couch and just play CG and F. It's great fun.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to ask, based on the music videos, which takes more time, you and Marvin practicing guitar, or Luca hitting the gym? Because he's just a fucking tank.
Like, I mean, Luca is in the gym like every fucking day, like every week, every day. For Marvin and me, I mean, we had to practice the songs, but I mean, Marvin is playing guitar for like, I don't know, 12 to 13 years probably. And I started playing guitar when I was 5. So it's like 20 years for me right now. So I'm actually not practicing that much. Sorry. But yeah, when I write new songs, of course, I have to practice them. And on A Hill to Die Upon, we have some really fast stuff, and it's really technical and takes a lot of effort to play it. But yeah, it's going to be okay at the end.
Yeah. Well, does it happen that you write something that you're not immediately able to play? Like, you know what you want it to be?
Well, I'm not really sure if I write stuff that I can't play, because I'm not that type of guy who sits on Guitar Pro and programs music. You know, I just take my guitar, press on record, and when I write songs, most of the time I just press the record button and play in jam for like 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I listen to it again and see if there's any good riffs in it or cool melodies. And yeah, it works like that. And based off those ideas, I write the music. Or sometimes even like when I'm in the bus and I'm listening to music and I hear something in the music, I'm like, that sounds good. I could do something similar, but in the other way, you know.
Yeah,
And
I know
then
what you mean. Yeah, sweet, man. Look, I guess it would be a bit more appropriate to ask Luca about lyrics, but I have one or two questions about the lyrics. Would you be able to answer them?
A little bit, maybe.
Maybe. Well, look, there's a lot of recurring themes throughout the album about being opposed to religion, and I guess dogma particularly. I mean, this comes up in the video to Ultima Hippocrates. And now, being opposed to religious dogma and celebrating blasphemy, I'm all about that. But there's some lyrics about burning crosses. I was wondering if you could explain that to me, because those lines sort of jumped out to me as a little uncomfortable.
Well, I didn't really was in the process of writing lyrics. Luca wrote most of the lyrics, but like everybody in the band is like we don't really believe in something like God or any religious stuff, because we all think it's stupid, and it's just like there are so many people with different religious beliefs in this world, and it just parts the people. Can you call it like that?
And separates, divides.
People, exactly. And we don't think that's a good thing, and it's not like we are Satanists or some stuff. But we use like the music and the lyrics to make up for this kind of stuff, you know.
No, it's very effective, and it's very appropriate for what you're writing about. It'd be weird if they were love songs with those big riffs. Now, there's a lot of great tunes in the album, but I have to talk about Ultima Hippocrates. It's
all right.
I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible. But the video especially, the other videos are great, but it tells a whole story. It's so well shot. Can you tell me how it came about and what the story is behind it?
Yeah, we actually wanted to have like a full movie, like with all 3 music videos. And I think it was in November or December when we wrote like the script for the movie.
Wow.
But like in January we had to start filming, and we went to our manager with the script, and we said, I want to have this and that, and he was like, it's gonna be hard because of Corona, of course. We were not allowed to film in the forest here, and everything was fucked up. And then we decided to just cut it down to one music video, you know. And we cut it down the script to one music video, and it worked out.
Yeah. And it's quite straightforward, the plot of that video, but what are we missing? What plot points had to be cut?
It wasn't like anything cut. It was more like it was like the journey of we called him Antonio. The journey of Antonio was like much bigger. It was like a lot more of how he changed over the time, and what happened to him mentally and stuff like that. There were a whole lot of ideas, but it's basically everything in the music video we had in mind for the whole movie.
No, it's great. I have, like, first time watching it, that one particularly gory shot in the middle, I didn't think I was a coward with gore, but I wasn't expecting it, man.
Yeah.
But also, about the Ultima Hippocrates video, I have really enjoyed you guys on Instagram. And I love that alternate cut, if you want to call it that, with the Lord of the Rings footage. Are you guys as big a nerds as I think you are? Great.
Like when I was 7 years old, my dad had a friend, and he wanted to go with him into the cinema to all the 3 Lord of the Rings movies. And one of his friends couldn't make it, and then he asked me, do you want to come with us? And I was like, yeah, of course. And since then, I'm the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. Like I watch Lord of the Rings probably like 5 times in a year, because I love the movie so much. And it was a big inspiration for the record as well, because all the Howard Shore stuff, the orchestral music in the background of Lord of the Rings, it's phenomenal. It's like one of the best pieces of music that was ever written, you know.
And it
Yeah.
fits the music of Ultima Hippocrates fits some of those shots so well.
Thank you, man.
And while I'm talking about your Instagram presence, who makes the memes? Because I love memes.
Well, most of our fans do the memes. Like, I think Vic made like 1 or 2 memes, but most of the memes our fans are making, and they send them to us. We are like, we're gonna post it.
Excellent. Well, I got to start making some for you guys.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So it would be nice to chat about some gigs coming up, and fortunately, we're at a time when that's starting to become an option again. So you have the Fight Fest festival coming up soon. Am I saying that right? Fight Fest, FAJT.
I think so. I think so. Fight Fest. Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's actually in 2 days. Tomorrow we're gonna pack our stuff, and then we're gonna leave on Thursday, or is it Tuesday? Donnerstag. I don't know.
Today's Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, then on Thursday. We're gonna leave on Thursday in the morning, and I think stage time is at 8 o'clock in the evening. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to play there and watch all the other bands. There are other great bands like Decapitated, Ginger, Ghost Kid, and yeah, I can't wait to finally see some live music again.
Yeah, man.
It was too long without it.
It's such a good lineup, like Bleed From Within as well, Ectomorph, their new album's great. And if you haven't seen Hacktivist, go see Hacktivist, man.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah. I had them on the show the last episode. They're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, you guys have a tour coming up starting next year, and crazy lineup. You have Paleface, Distant, and Crown Magnetar. I've been blown away by the new Crown Magnetar album.
Yeah, that album is fucking great.
So how did you get all these great bands for this one tour? It's stacked.
Like Paleface and Distant, it was like when we started like looking for bands to tour with, Paleface and Distant were the first bands that came to mind, because I didn't meet them until now, but all the other guys in Mental Cruelty, they're like best friends with both of the bands. They love Distant, they love Paleface. And Crown Magnetar, I'm not even sure how this happened, but I think our manager Chris managed everything and asked them. But I'm super happy that they're gonna be on tour with us, because these guys rules.
Yeah, man. Well, I will see you in Berlin in, what's that, April, I think it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
So before we wrap up, I want to do a quick lightning round, okay? So I'll give you 2 options, and you just tell me which one you'd pick, all right?
All right.
Cool. So first up, Cannibal Corpse or Napalm Death?
Cannibal Corpse.
Really? Interesting. I mean, there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
All right, let's test your nerd credentials. Star Wars prequels or Star Wars sequels?
Well, you mean like the old movies or the new movies?
No, I mean like episodes 1, 2, 3 or episodes 7, 8, 9?
1, 2, 3, of course.
Yeah? Nice one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of them?
Like, I mean, I enjoyed episode 7. I think it was a pretty good movie. It was basically A New Hope, but
I'm fine with that.
I think it was good. But episode 8 was I hate that movie. I think it was a total mess. But yeah, episode 9 was okay. But yeah, episode 1 was like the first Star Wars movie I watched, and probably the nostalgic feelings I get when I think about that movie. But yeah, I think episode 1, 2, and 3 are fucking good movies, and I don't know why so many people hate on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't really like 2, but I think 3 is amazing.
Yeah,
Really
cut
great.
off the stuff with Anakin and Amidala where they talk about love, and then it's an okay movie.
Yeah, we don't want any love in our sci-fi. All right, so based on that, Tom Bombadil or Jar Jar Binks?
Tom Bombadil, of course.
Great.
Jar Jar is the most annoying character ever written. Like,
Yeah, man, but Tom Bombadil is 200 pages of my life that I'm never getting back.
That's true.
And last but not least, Spezi or Mate?
Mate for me, because I'm actually my dad is from Argentina,
Right.
and when I was little, my dad always drank mate tea, and I tried and I love it as well. So for me, Mate, but Spezia is good as well.
Yeah, took me a long time to come around to Spezia. I'm like, what are you doing? Just pick one, guys. So, A Hill to Die Upon came out in May on Unique Leader Records. Guys, go check it out now if you haven't. And Nahuel from Mental Cruelty, thanks for taking the time to chat to me, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Had a great time.
Thanks, bro. Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's YouTube, so you know the drill. Be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications about any future interviews I post here on the channel, because you never know who it's going to be. Could be Scott Stapp. Could be someone good. But like and subscribe and there'll be a new interview every second week. Better still, you can listen to the Coffin Nail live on Keith FM, that's KEITHFEM.com, every second Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. German time. And for everything Coffin Nail related, go to thecoffinnailradio.com for full episodes, interviews, and exclusive articles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.